Good morning, everybody. What is going on? I am tired as shit. I stayed up way too late last night. Could barely keep my eyes open right now, but here we are, another day in paradise. I think I lost my voice from last night, screaming, going crazy. But it was well worth it. Why? Because Joel Embiid, Embiid. Right? I went headband and everything for the guy. Headband, went to the T-shirt route, right? Like, I went all out for Joel today. Look at this hairdo flying through the bandana, though. I figured I'd go headband Joel as I enjoy this coffee. Attack the day like my name is Joel Embiid, right? I mean, that's what you have to do after a performance like that. That was ridiculous. That was insanity. Was it not? Can we all go back in our brains and just close our eyes for a second and picture that last shot where he drilled the three in regulation? Like, what the hell was that? That was insane. What else is insane is, I almost spilled. Now that's going to be a mess. What happens when the day comes where I spill my coffee on the show? Do I sit through the pain and pretend like it doesn't hurt, and now I have to sit here and talk for an hour? Do I go make another coffee, put it on pause? I don't know. Maybe that's a discussion for a little bit later into the show, because I know right now we're pretty damn excited. We're pretty damn excited and pumped up for what we just saw. The coffee today is just your traditional regular Wawa black coffee. Do I think Joel will win MVP if he keeps playing at this pace? Absolutely. Yes, I think Joel Embiid is going to win the MVP. If this is what you get, this is MVP, right? This is an MVP of the NBA. The association's MVP. This is how it is. This is a great quote. We won this game, in my opinion. Donovan Mitchell. Is this guy serious? Take some responsibility for once in your career. Talk about the fact that your team blew a lead to Dwight Howard. Nate, that's hilarious. You are correct. That Dwight Howard run had me running around my damn house naked. Seriously, it was ridiculous to watch this guy just go around. He's averaging 30.2 points per game. I need a sip of this, but I can see the steam. Here's my daily reminder that this is going to kill my mouth. Need a bounce back from the Flyers, especially that putrid power play. You're not wrong. I just can't think about the Fly guys right now because of what we saw from the big man. EMVP, MVP, Embiid, VMP, MVP. I get what you're saying. No question about it. Logan, $5 donation. Thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you. You are amazing, Logan. You are the best. You know who else is the best? The big man in Philadelphia. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. 40-19. 40-19. That was insane. Like, I was blown away afterwards. I didn't even know how to react, right? It's like, what did I just witness? It's almost like I need more time for it to digest so then I could maybe analyze it a little bit more. And we will talk about it for sure. I mean, I'll have a podcast like more on the Sixers-Utah game, especially knowing that there's a whole week until we see regular season basketball again that matters. I'm not talking about the All-Star game on Sunday. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about this game more, but, man, like the podcast was very, very, very raw emotion. And I don't get like that for regular season basketball. That's what made it a lot of fun. Sydney, Australia checking in. Ahoy, mate! I don't know what I just did. I have no idea. Was I even close to anything that Australians say? I felt like I turned into like a captain of a ship there. I apologize. That was terrible. That was just awful. I'm so disgusted in myself. I don't even know what to say anymore. What? Wait, sorry. Someone else. I hate when that happens because someone comments and it pushes up my comment. The comment I want to hit on. I'm fired up. Me too. Brodes, what a win last night. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. That was insane. I just think it's funny, though, because the reaction today is the reaction that it should be. This is how we are supposed to feel after an insane performance like that. A great win against the number one seed in the West. Like, that was such a good, solid victory. But 2 games ago, after they lost to the Cavs, this fan base wanted everybody to blow up the organization. And that's why I always mention, like, you can't get too low, but you can't get too high, even though you enjoy this. Enjoy this because it's fun. But deep down, we know when we react like this that this doesn't mean that this is a path to success. You can rely on Dwight Howard to do this, and you can rely on that 3 by Joel Embiid to go in, and you can rely on the 3-point attempts to win you basketball games. Like, big picture, there's still a problem here. So I just think it's so funny that 2 games ago, this city's ready to fire everybody and get rid of everyone. And now it's we can go in. Bryce Harper's on today. Ew, let's go! Now, that's not true. And someone just said that, and that outburst doesn't mean a damn thing. I'm gonna be upset. Now let me pull over my second monitor. Is this a reality of a situation, or are you bullshitting me? Are you who we going to Jim Salisbury? He's the man. One of my favorites. Are you lying to me? Now I'm devastated. Now that's just mean. That's just mean. Now look, all that emotion that I just had for the excitement of Phillies baseball right after that Embiid stuff. Now, like, that's deflating. Now look at me. Who said that? Who said that? Now I don't feel good anymore. Now I'm disgusted. We're going to find you. And you're going to pay. You are going to pay. Where is this? I am going through. Did they delete their comment? Did I read the comment wrong? Hoskins and Harper today. Now that's a second person. Huh. Oh, I'm so mad. Now, like, don't you just feel the culture shock here? Like, the culture of the locker room is now shifted. Maybe that's a better way to explain it. Like, the locker room, this is the locker room. You're hanging out right now with the boys, right? Killed the vibe. But here we go. Well, we'll try and power through this thing, right? We'll try and keep it together here as much as humanly possible. I think we can figure it out. Adam Hastley at left field. Let's see if he hits a ding-dong. You got Rhys Hoskins as the DH. Scott Kingery, center field. Alec Boehm batting fourth. Odubel Herrera. And it's funny, people were mentioning that Odubel Herrera only played that game because of it not being on TV and whatnot, but here he is playing on a televised game. And for the most part, those are the people that matter to me the most. Aha! Lucas comes back in and says, my bad, y'all. So it was you! You were the guy! That's okay. You're a nice guy. But that's a funny, that's funny, I guess. I guess it could be funny. Damn. I'm excited for this, though, just to watch a little bit of Philly, because the last couple of days, like, I do have it written down on my little things to do calendar that I have. I got one of these desk calendars, right? I have it say by the end of the week, whether it's Friday, Saturday, we're going to do a little Phillies check-in, if you will. So I'll gather some information and some storylines surrounding the first week of spring training, and we'll talk about it for all the Phillies fans excited, waiting for a pod. I've been getting a couple questions. Brodes, when are you going to oh, thank you, Paul Reed, as if that's actually Paul Reed. But thank you for, I just scrolled over it by mistake. $2 donation from Giroux. Giroux gets at least 2 points tonight. Hey, let's go. I would love for that to happen. That's like a big bounce. I mean, if he gets 2 points, does that mean Fly Guys get the dub? Or is 2 points out of G, hey, you could still lose because your defense is so putrid they could allow 9 goals in one game and maybe you lose 9-2 and G gets 2 points. I hope it's not that one, but thank you, Giroux, for the $2 donation. Phillies fans, though, were asking me, Brodes, when do we get in the next Phillies pod? And I'm like, hey, let's just relax a little bit. Let spring trading play out, get a couple storylines through, and boom, we'll get one out there. So just something to think about. Brodes, your thoughts on Odubel Herrera getting another chance? He's just got to perform. If he performs in spring training, I think he's going to get the chance. I mean, he was an all-star. They have a hole at that position. If he ends up playing well, I think it's his chance. Now, he had a base hit last game and a stolen base. So just for whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but that's what it means. Logan chimes in with a $3 donation. What happened to that phone call from last vid? I have it. I have a bunch of anytime hotline calls that I didn't get to from last night. So my plan is to do, you know how sometimes I do the post-game pod and then maybe the next day I do the day after pod and we assess what happened and talk about it further. I'm going to utilize that call to start things off, and then I'll use all the other phone calls that I didn't get to, hopefully. I mean, there were so many after last night, as you could imagine. But, yeah, my plan is to just utilize that phone call to spark the next pod because we'll be talking about that game more. No doubt about it, for sure. We're going to be talking about that game again. So I'm just going to utilize it. It blew my mind. It blew my damn mind that someone thought about. Look, I've been hard on Ben Simmons, have I not? I've been criticizing Ben Simmons on what he needs to do. And there's actually been a time where he had 20 points after the third, and I hated that he wasn't a piece offensively in the fourth, which also happened last night. But what you watched out of Embiid and him, and you watch that defense, I don't know how that's your takeaway after last night's game. I'm okay with questioning his offense and being upset and wanting him to grow in that area. But how can you watch last night and after last night's Ben Simmons performance, you go, you know what? I wish Ben Simmons had an elbow jumper. You know what I'm saying, though? That's where I'm having the issue. Thoughts on the refs? Oh, it's the NBA, dude. I'm not saying dude to you. I'm saying dude to Donovan. It's the NBA. Welcome to bad calls. You know, you're acting like it's your rookie season. You should know that by now. Facts. So stop your bitching. How about that? Phillies breakout player prediction. Well, there's limited options, right? Because Bohm can't be like I don't know, like Bohm's already kind of like someone on the breakout scene and we're watching him. It would have to be someone who has low expectations who breaks out. Alec Bohm has a lot of expectations. So with that, if it has to be a breakout player, like there's only a few options, right? Like Scott Kingery, Adam Hazley. It's not Roman Quinn. You know, I saw this yesterday where I want to make sure I bring this up. I want to use this in a pod, some information for a pod, but I'll bring it up here as well. It was some stats on Roman Quinn. So yesterday, Roman Quinn struck out 3 times in 3 at-bats, and he struck out 4 times in his last 5 chances at the dish. We talk about speed. I talk about the kid blows. But yet we have people in here trying to compare him to a Bryce Harper statistics as if that's even the same damn thing. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the water cooler. Hilarious. I know. So damn funny. Just so damn funny. This is pretty much how it went right here, Robert. Ben scored. I thought Ben did have a stretch of some aggressiveness, even not just early, but he did have like this spurt of aggressiveness where he was using that snug pick and roll between Ben and Joel right inside the paint area, and he uses that to get some leverage, kiss it off the glass with this like hook. It's hard because Ben Simmons has such an orthodox repertoire. I don't know if I call this a layup. I don't know if I call this a little put shot. I don't know if I call that a baby hook. I don't know because it's Ben Simmons shooting it. It's so awkward and isn't a standard shot. But him and Joel used the snug pick and roll, got around. Defensively in the fourth, man, what he did to Donovan Mitchell was sensational. That is game-changing, elite, best defensive player in the entire NBA type of defense. Like, you can't do better than that. And that's why you see someone like Donovan Mitchell get so flustered, get so annoyed, get so bothered, throwing things around, right? Like, freaking out. That's the issue, because it's just unreal what he can do. That's the issue. It pisses you off. Hey, Brodes, been watching the Peter Griffin, love it. Been watching since 2018. Big fan. Where else is your content? So right now we are live streaming on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So we're on those 3 platforms. Sports Talk with Brodes is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Same with Open Ice Hits. I'm everywhere, but it all stems from the YouTube channel. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all your podcasting platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, @Brodes81. By the way, just going to throw this out there. Every Wednesday, Hump Day giveaway on Twitter. Pinned to the top of my profile will be a giveaway. So simple. Retweet it and follow me. Right now, we're giving away a pretty sick pair of Eagles socks. So if you haven't entered to win, go do that now. Jazz fans, stay mad. Yeah, I find that so funny, man. Like, the Jazz fans, and they have this pure hatred towards the Sixers. And it's such a unique rivalry because, like, what's the Utah Jazz? But I think it stems from Ben and Donovan Mitchell. But there is this weirdly odd, I guess, relationship. But a relationship would almost make it seem like it's a good thing. But it's like this hatred between the two. No, Dominic, I do not have another job. This is the full-time gig. Carmen wants to know if we're fired up for the Phillies today. Of course we are. Unfortunately, someone in here told me that Bryce Harper is in the bump, and I went, oh, let's go on you. And he's not even in the lineup. So I don't know how to react now. But yes, to answer your question, we're fired up. We went headband today. We don't go headband just to go headband. We go headband because it's a fucking day. That's why. There's certain days where it's like, yeah, it's not a headband day. Then there's days where it's like, yo, it's a headband day. Attack the day. I got a hat, and maybe I'll wear it soon. It's been a little bit of time since I wore it. It's got LeBron's face on it. It's just a tan hat with a picture of LeBron's face on it. And I wear that hat only once in a blue moon. Why? Because it has power. That hat tells me I'm going to annihilate the day. I am going to dominate the day. I will control the day. Because it's LeBron, and that's what he does. It's similar with the bandana life. When you go with the bandana life, it's different. $2 donation coming in from Vince. Rudy Gobert stinks, just like the Flyers defense. That is tremendous. You are correct. That is a perfect statement. The Flyers defense is atrocious, but Rudy Gobert, he's a hate the face from me. I don't know why. I don't know. There's probably no reason why to hate him at all, but he's a hate the face for me. And Joel Embiid stole his lunch money. And I keep laughing at the 3, where, like, he's falling over, right, with the ball in his hands, and he's backing up. Like, he's kind of around. He's pretty close to the 3-point line when his back is to the basket. But he runs. Oh, it was Bogdanovich who was on him at the time. Because Bogdanovich ran out and put his hands out. It looked like Bogdanovich, by the way. If you read his body language throughout the game, because he missed some threes. I think he finished 4 of 10 from 3. And which is good. I mean, that's 40%, but he's missed some ones that I think he would like to have back. There was the one where he was sitting in the corner, just dribbling for 9 seconds and then looked up, dribbled again for 12 seconds, looked up, maybe did one of the spinoramas of the ball, like he's taking some free throws, dribbled again, and then completely missed. But he ran out, closed out, and here's Embiid just jacking up a 3 after running back. It is just comical. Utah Jazz just created a conspiracy theory off one regular season game. It's so crazy that, so he's complaining because he's a small market team that the refs are against them. It's wild. Now, this is the same league that had some inside NBA refs betting, fixing games. So, you know, it's hard to criticize. But to act as if that game played out the way that it did because of the referees, dude, you lost a big lead. You allowed the Sixers to hang in there. You had Dwight Howard dominate you in the fourth quarter. All of that matters. That happened too. That was an issue as well. So take some accountability. Take some pride in your game. Oh, we won tonight. What do you mean you won? No, you fucking lost, dude. You lost, right? It's crazy. The shot to tie the game was a travel. They have every right to be upset. Here's where I have a problem with this, Samson. If there was the other way, you guys would be screaming. No. Because it's like the Kawhi Leonard shot, for example, right? How many people in this city, like, no one goes back and goes, oh, that's a travel. No serious fan does. No, I disagree completely. No referee. I don't want a referee calling a travel in that scenario. I wouldn't want the NBA to call a travel with Kawhi Leonard when he took the shot in Game 7. I'm just going to have to disagree with that they have every right to be upset with a travel. If you watch the NBA, like, it's not a travel. It's not a travel. I'm going to go back and watch the shot, but it's not a travel. Let's see here, because I tweeted it out last night when it went down. All right, here we go. No. If we're calling travels on that, I'm never watching basketball again. In what world should that be called a travel with 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter? I don't know. I would be absolutely devastated if that becomes travels. Like, every game there's going to be plays that, 3 steps, this, that. No, I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Not in on it. Like, I think that's too technical is what it is. Now you're becoming, like, too technical with it. No, I'm out on the travel call. Not doing it. Yeah, slow it down and look. Like, what are we going to start going in quadruple zoom and super insane slow-mo to see, like, when the ball lifted off the ground for that third foot? That's what I'm saying. This is the NBA. With 5 seconds left, that should not be a travel. With 5 seconds left, that should not be a travel call. That's my view on it. I want everyone to go back and pull up their phone while you're watching this at Brodes81. I tweeted out the video, and I want to know if you think that should be called a travel at the end of the game. Because to me, no shot in hell. Did you see Donovan Mitchell throw the water cooler? I saw him throw. No, I didn't see that, to be honest with you. So I don't know if that's even real or not. But yeah, insane. Joel's legs are so long, if he at least dribbles the ball, the refs will or should let it go. Yeah, I mean, I think that's crazy to look at that play and go, you know what they missed out on there? This game shouldn't have happened because they should have called Joel Embiid's travel. That just shows me that you don't watch the league, because that's pretty damn standard what we witnessed last night at the end of the game. Now this cracks me up. Because literally 2 days ago, 2 games ago, when they lose to the Cavs, what was the story? They stink. They can't win. How do you lose to a bad team? How do you play down to your opponent? Where's the transition defense? And now all of a sudden they beat the Utah Jazz. And do you think the Sixers can win it all? I just think, like, this fan base needs to do a better job at riding the ride and enjoying the highs and lows, but remembering what the highs and lows mean. That's where I think it comes down to. Because I don't want to take away enjoying a win like this. You should have that reaction. But you got to be able to control that excitement. And when they lose to the Cavs, be disappointed. Be upset. Be bothered. But you don't have to apply that to now saying they're just this dumpster fire team. So I want you to experience that. Do you think that they can win it all? I think that, I say this all the time, they're in the conversation with the best teams in the East. What will that bring you? I don't know. I don't know what that means for a 7-game series with the Nets. I don't know what that means for a 7-game series with the Milwaukee Bucks. but I do know that they're in the same conversation, right? Philly Mike in the house. Everyone go support Philly Mike. He's the greatest. He really is. Great, great, great dude. Watched your pod, and I thought the same thing. How were we in the game? But it was because the defense creating turnovers and our free throw shooting. But wow, 21 threes in a loss. Yeah, the problem I have with the lack of shooting threes is awesome win. Just don't think that you could rely on this method. And I'm pretty damn sure Doc Rivers knows that, and I'm sure the team knows that. And Joel said it pretty loudly last game to the media where he said, we got to start jacking up threes. We need to continue to shoot threes because you can't win if you're – I got my notes over here from last night's game. All right. Let's pull this together. Let's look here. 25 threes. So they took 25 threes. They took 25 threes and made 8. The Jazz took 44. Now, you don't need to be in the 40s, but you got to be in that mid-30s, I think. That's the number for me. That's that area. 35, 36. You got to start taking threes to compete. 2 for 3, 2 for 3, 2 for 3. And realistically, I'm really going to study this for the postseason because one of my things that I'm looking for, because this is what I would do if I was a coach. Let Ben score. Let Ben score in the playoffs. And that has normally been what teams have did the opposite. Build the wall and don't let him get to the rim. I'm doing the opposite. You know why? Because Joel Embiid's a monster. Tobias is playing unreal. The spacing on the floor helps out this team. I'll allow teams to score 2 on me. Let me score 2. Or let them score 2, I should say. That's what I would do if I was the other team. And you heard Doc say that yesterday. In the postgame, he mentioned the drop coverage. Kyle Neubeck of Philly Voice didn't really like the drop coverage. And look, I'm not saying it was great all the time. There were splashes where it didn't work and it didn't benefit them. But why did they go to the drop coverage? Well, Doc said it pretty obviously here. We wanted them to take 2s. We wanted them to walk in off the pick and roll to contested 2s. We wanted to run them off the three-point line essentially by fighting over the screen when you drop back the big man, which is something Brett Brown would do a lot. He did a lot of drop coverage, but that would allow them to come off of that pick and roll, and then they'd have that bubble, that soft area inside the 2-point line, force them to take 2s. So if that's the mentality, if that's the philosophy of Doc Rivers, if I'm the other team now and I see this Sixer squad, knowing they don't take a lot of threes, I'm like, hey, Ben, you can take shots. Just allow Ben to try and take shots. Very unorthodox, not the best at his offensive game. I would do that and see if you can counter the 2s with 3s. Not a travel. Not a travel. We'll move on. Who are your front runners for Defensive Player of the Year? It's got to be Ben, Jumbo. Jumbo Kevin wants to know. It's got to be Ben. I don't even think there's someone else in the discussion. That's how great of defense I think Ben Simmons is playing this year. That's how lethal I think he is. That's how fantastic. I think he's that good. He's so up top right now that nobody else is even in the legitimate discussion. And the crazy thing is, I think that's not even Sixers bias. I don't even think that's Sixers bias. I think that's reality of the situation. And he's starting to get a lot of love because he's getting a lot of votes for being that top defender in the league. He's getting a lot of votes by a lot of people who cover this damn league. Like, yo, there's something here right now. There's something here right now with Benjamin. And it's insane. Should Elliott start tonight? Huh. Maybe. I didn't think Carter Hart had a bad game. I could see both. I could see a case for Carter because I didn't think he was the problem. And I could see a case for Brian Elliott. So I could see a case for both. Donovan Mitchell is a fraud. He really is. Would you rather play the Jazz or Lakers Clippers in the finals? Well, I mean, to take down LeBron James would make it more entertaining. And Sixers-Lakers would be one hell of a storyline compared to Sixers-Jazz. So if you're asking me, would I rather have the Lakers in there? Yeah, I would. It would be just a more explosive series for talking points, and you feel more accomplished. If you end up beating, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day who you beat, but I do think when the Phillies won the World Series, beating the Rays, well, it's different than beating the Yankees. And when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, beating Tom Brady makes it feel different than beating, I don't know, the Oakland Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders or whoever's in there. Beating that top dog, beating that GOAT, beating that star in the league, it adds value to the championship. So I'll go Lakers, but I won't discredit how fun of a series it would be against this Jazz team. That's where I think it's unreal. It would be a fun story. It would be a passionate story. There would be a lot of drama and history behind the Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell thing and the Embiid and Gobert thing. But you have that too with LeBron and Ben Simmons and LeBron and Embiid and AD and Embiid. So it's there too. I'd have to go if I had to choose with the Lakers. To be the best, you got to beat the best. And LeBron is the best. Do I believe Embiid is the best Philly athlete right now? Yeah, I do. And is there anyone even close? Who would be close? There's no one on the Eagles that you could even consider putting in that conversation right now. Their best player is who? Miles Sanders. That doesn't compare to what Joel Embiid's doing. Dallas Goedert. No, there's no Eagles. There's no Flyers. As well as Joel Farabee is playing. It's not to the level of, or even JVR. As great as JVR is playing, it's not the top of the NHL. He's up there in top 10 of the NHL right now, but he's not in there. And I'm talking more just about point production, not so much superstar of the league in JVR. It's not even close. It's not even close. Joel Embiid. No, Bryce Harper is not playing at the level. Bryce Harper would have to be in the Mookie Betts category to be in the Joel Embiid category, and he's not. And that's okay. He doesn't need to be Mookie Betts. He needs to be Bryce Harper. But I'm just saying, to be at the level of Joel Embiid, like Bryce Harper is not doing this. Bryce Harper is not playing at this pace that Embiid's playing on. And that, honestly, that's not even a disrespect to Bryce Harper. I think that's more giving the proper credit to Joel Embiid. It's acknowledging how lethal he is right now. What isn't reality of, like, no one else can do that. No one else can do that. Mike, that's just not funny anymore, so I'm just going to not acknowledge you moving forward. Furkan Korkmaz. What about Furkan Korkmaz? Name a duo better than the Jazz and the Sixers dropping 40 on their heads. I love it. I literally love it. Joel is just a different level of dominance at his craft. He's added so much to the repertoire. And what I love the most is it comes from up here. It comes in the brain, the knowledge of the game, the smarts, the learning, being able to study, film sessions, apply it, going out there and doing it, going onto the practice courts in Camden, working, applying the smarts of the game. He is learning the game. I hate to say this because it's cliche, but he is now a student of the game. And when he became a student of the game and really put it into play and put it into actual physical dribbling the basketball and taking the studying to the court, it's adapted him and tapped into this potential that is unworthy. We don't deserve this. We don't deserve this. And I'm really asking myself this question. Is it possible that he hasn't even reached his ceiling? Does he have a ceiling? Does he have a ceiling? Of course, every player has a ceiling. Has he reached his ceiling? Is there still more to go? If he's at a 9 out of 10 right now, what's the 10? That's scary to think that this could be his 9. But is there a way to get him to 10? Is this his 8? Or is this his 10? Is this the Embiid that this is the top of the top of the top? And just to be clear, this is good if this is 10 out of 10. Obviously. I'm just asking, is there even more in him? Can you get more out of this guy? Or is this who he is, right? And, I'm just asking. Oh, man. Yeah, for real. The ceiling is so high and we're the fan. Yeah, well, there you go. How about that? Seeing someone play like this is so amazing because for once we get to see it every night for ourselves. That's one thing that I'm really appreciating. And that's a great comment. You see this all the time when you watch the Sixers and then late night you throw on SVP. And when what ends up happening when you throw on SVP? You see Devin Booker highlights. You see James Harden highlights. You see LeBron highlights. You see Kevin Durant highlights. So you see all these stars generate so much offense and buzz, scoring points, being lethal, being awesome players. But you don't watch it night in and night out, every dribble. You don't. You just see how great they are. Then at the bottom, it says the Nets won, and James Harden had 38, 37 points. Steph Curry had 43. But when you dive into a season where you get to watch him do it and watch every dribble and watch every... There's an enjoyment of watching turnovers by Joel and then watching him fix those turnovers. Now you're appreciating the little things. Now you're understanding the growth and you're watching the development of the player. First quarter gets doubled 3 times, 3 turnovers. Third quarter gets doubled 4 times, kicks it out to Danny Green perfectly. Then there's swinging of the rock. You don't find that highlight on SportsCenter. You don't find that on the highlight package afterwards with the extended highlights. But what you do as a fan is you are now embracing the journey of Joel Embiid, and you get to really watch and see him take those steps and take that and apply it to his game. And that's why I think it's so fun to see him really elevate this way. Do I expect the Sixers to make a big trade or just a minor trade? Is it possible my answer is both? And not saying they make a big one and a minor, but I guess both isn't the right word to explain it. But is there a middle ground where it's more than a George Hill, but it's not a Bradley Beal? And is the answer, I don't even think Bradley Beal is in play anymore, so that's a stupid statement to even say. But is Kyle Lowry a, quote, big trade? Or is that just a very good trade? Big trade, I guess Kyle Lowry would be a big trade. I'll put that in the category of big trade. So I expect them to go after a player like that. I think last night will make you feel, hey, if we get Kyle Lowry, now we're talking. Now we're taking even a bigger step. So I do think that they make a big trade. I don't think it's going to be minor. I think Daryl Morey sees what we see. I think Daryl Morey recognizes that there's something to pounce on, and he's going to try to pounce on it. So I think it's going to be a bigger move more than a smaller move. But you might see, you can make a move for Kyle Lowry and still do other things. Buyout markets in play. So you might be able to do the Kyle Lowry move while giving up a ton of pieces and then acquiring someone else in another method. So something to just think about. When do you think Daryl Morey pulls the trigger? Well, I think he's doing what all these other presidents and GMs do. You're kind of waiting for the trade deadline to creep up. So I expect it to happen. Now, what is the actual date of the NBA trade deadline? March 25th. And we are sitting at now just about about 3 weeks away or so. So when do I think Daryl Morey will pull the trigger? You know, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm not going to say it's going to happen tonight, tomorrow, next week, but we're going to start getting into that stretch of, hey, let's make some calls. Do you think Buddy Hield is a player to make a run at? Everyone brings this up. You got to think of buyout market and trade market. If you go out and get a Kyle Lowry, no, Buddy Hield is not in play. You're going to then have to work with the buyout market. I don't know if they trade for Buddy Hield. They could. They need help three-point shooting. There's no denying that. So maybe that is a target. I just think I'm tired of hearing the name Buddy Hield because we hear it every single year. Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield. It's like, all right, Buddy Hield, he's not happy in Sacramento. I get it. He liked the picture on Instagram. I get it. I think the Buddy Hield fatigue is starting to just weigh on me. The player's like, all right, Buddy Hield. I heard his name enough. All right, we're gonna, whatever. Heard the name enough. Heard the game enough. No, Joseph, sports guy. I am not going live for the Phillies today. I don't think, unless something changes. I wouldn't rule anything out, but I'm right now sitting here at this very second. The answer to that is no. But you can always stay up to date on any sort of news at Brodes81 on Twitter. Make sure you follow me there. And I need a sip of coffee. It's been too long. I want to go back and see the last time I took a sip because I feel like it's been 20 minutes. Are the Oakland A's still a possible contender? The A's are always kind of hanging in there. Now they're like the Tampa Bay Rays out west. That's what they do. What flavor of coffee do I have today? I went regular regular McDonald's black. So I got a couple options right now. I've been attacking so much coffee lately that my bags are starting to dwindle. What I have left is McDonald's regular roast black. I have Wawa hazelnut that I like to drink black. I have Starbucks vanilla. Not French vanilla. It's vanilla. It's very, if that makes sense. Then I have this brutal cinnamon bun coffee cake by Dunkin' Donuts. So there's like the couple of bags I got left. I don't go to McDonald's for breakfast ever, to be honest. I couldn't tell you the last time I had McDonald's ever. I like their coffee. I like the coffee I make at home. I like to just experiment. I like to try different flavors, try different brands. So I'll grab a McDonald's, I'll grab a Wawa bag, I'll grab a Dunkin' bag. I just like to buy their bags and then I'll make them in my Ninja, if you will. Yeah, I got to restock a little bit. Cinnamon bun coffee cake. Yeah, I know it's a little sweet though. It's a little too sweet for me. I need it in like doses. I need it in very long windows. Like once every 2 weeks, I'll throw that in there just for a change of pace. Do that sip face again. Now I'm nervous. I don't know. Like that's weird, isn't it? To do that again on demand. Was it something that satisfied you? Giroux with the $5 donation. Brodes, what's your top 4 way too early Super Bowl prediction contenders? Chiefs, Bucks, Bills, and Browns. Let's look. Very out of the box question, by the way. Not that I'm upset about it because I'm here to talk a lot of sports and talk random sports and do all kinds of things. So I'm not upset about it. Just very out of the box. Chiefs have to be in play, do they not? Chiefs have to be in play. So out of the AFC, I'll give you, because you went 3 AFC teams. You went 1 NFC team. So that's interesting. Chiefs, Bills, I'll go for AFC. And my 2 NFC will be Eagles. Packers, Bucks. But that's I think that's boring. I hate that those are my answers. Thank you so much for the $5 donation, by the way. I hate for that to be my answer, though, because I think that's too. There's always a team that surprises you, comes up out of nowhere. I think. See, now we got an answer here that says Cardinals, and I thought that we would see someone say Cardinals because of the J.J. Watt stuff, but I don't know if I'm jumping on this J.J. Watt. Look, J.J. Watt has been in Houston for how long? With Bill O'Brien teams. Well, Bill O'Brien's a dud and a bum at the GM perspective and as a coach. I'm not making it seem like he's a great coach, but his moves at the GM spot were ridiculous. But they were winning the division. They were getting to the playoffs, and they had J.J. Watt. Like, J.J. Watt's a great player, but I'm not saying now, oh, you know who's going to go win? It's now going to be the Cardinals. The Rams is a good one. The Rams would be a good name. Tim comes in and says Rams. You have Matthew Stafford now. That's one that could be on the list. Maybe that's one. Over Green Bay, I don't know. Maybe over the Bills, maybe. But you would anticipate the Bills taking a step forward. Yeah, with the Rams, I think that one could be on the list. Reese is back today. Indeed, he is. Now, Brian thinks the Dolphins are in play. The Dolphins' defense was insane. We can all agree on that. Creating turnovers. I think they had 3,568 turnovers last year generated. It was wild what they were doing defensively. Is it time to buy into Tua? Is it time to buy into that, though? I think they're still missing something. The fact that your franchise QB is getting benched in the fourth so Ryan Fitzpatrick can go out there and make plays and help you come back, I think that that's a flawed philosophy. And obviously, Fitzmagic is a free agent this year, so. Titans, possibly. Yeah, it's an outside of the box one, Jonathan. It's outside the box. It's a good conversation, though. $5 donation coming in from Kyle. Sad the Phillies have been so passive since signing JT, passing on Jackie Bradley Jr. and maybe not going after Odorizzi. Who should they sign? Here's what I'll say about Jackie Bradley Jr. I like the idea of Jackie Bradley Jr., but here's what you need to think about. 4 people are competing for the top spot right now. Adam Hazley, Roman Quinn, Odubel Herrera, Scott Kingery. Then you also have a player like, oh man, how am I drawing a blank on his name? You got to be kidding me. God, I'm blown away. I'm not even going to ask you. I don't want to ask you. I have to figure out his name myself. I'm disgusted in myself for drawing this much of a blank. I got to go back. I tweeted about him. He hit the ding-dongs. Joyce. Matt Joyce. I didn't even see it. It came to my head. I swear to God. So now there's Matt Joyce in play. Now that's 5 people. And he's not an everyday guy, but you're just thinking of the outfield position. I think at this point there's so many outfielders that you're not going to keep to bring in a Jackie Bradley Jr. And I'm with you to say, why should you even have Roman Quinn in the discussion because he stinks and he's a bum? I agree with you, but I understand why at one point they didn't reach and get Jackie Bradley Jr. reach out and grab, not reach as if, reach on the player. But looking at his batting average, last year 283 with Boston in the 55 games, that was pretty solid. But 225, 234, 245 were his 3 last years. I like Jackie Bradley Jr., and if that's my starting center fielder, I am okay with that. I am not considering the circumstances now. With your circumstances now, I'd be okay with that. But it's not world-beating either. It's not, wow, you missed out on Jackie Bradley Jr. to significantly jump up and bulk up what you have there. He had 21 homers 2 years ago, 13 the year prior. Nice player. I would have been okay with it. I think there's just a lot of center fielders right now. Bringing in another one, now you got to think about another 2. And I'm not saying that this is the right method that they're going by. I'm saying that's probably how they're approaching it. Because if it was me, Roman Quinn's not even in the discussion. You're not even getting a chance. You stink. I'd come into my office. I'd put my feet up on the desk. I'd have my aviators on like I'm Gabe Kapler. And I'd have my cup of coffee. And I'd say, hey, Roman, thanks for coming into my office. First of all, I'd send an intern to go grab him. And which he knows he's going to have a tough meeting, right? So he comes into my office. Sit down, please, Roman. And I take a fat sip. I look at him in the eyes while taking the fat sip. Roman, you blow. Get out. You gonna go? You gonna leave? You suck. Can you bring in Mickey Moniak, please? Hey, intern. Can you bring in Mickey Moniak? Thanks. Mickey, thanks for stepping into my office. You blow! Get out of my office! Hey, intern. Can you bring in Gabe Kapler, please? Oh, what's that? Okay, bring him in. Hey, Gabe. Fuck you! Get out of my office! I have no idea how that just happened. Yeah, Vince Velasquez, that was another one. Nick Pavetta, yep. I have no idea how that just happened, but that was gold. Oh man. Yeah, yep. I had some other names on there. I should have went Vinny V. Jake Arrieta. I could have went Brandon Workman. Brandon Workman is another one I could have brought into my office. Man. All right. Jake Elliott with the $2 donation. Roman, you blow, get out. Deserves the $2. Thank you. Yeah, I think my brain is whew, that was a little something. Furcon Quirk Mod. I was thinking Phils though. I was in the Phils mindset. Hector Neris. Would I have the same for Hector? Hector the Protector? Man. I don't know. Drew Smiley. How about that deal Drew Smiley made? What was it with the Braves? Ended up signing like a 1-year, $11 million deal now. Drew Smiley signed a 1-year, $11 million contract with the Braves, including $11 million guaranteed. Of course. Excuse me, by the way. Did I just do that? I just let one fly? Sorry. Neil Walker. You're welcome, Joseph. That's why we're here, right? That's why we're here. We're here to relax, talk some sports, make people's mornings. I want to know how many people brew their coffee, and maybe it's their second cup of the morning. Doesn't have to specifically be the first, but I wonder people like, all right, Brodes is going to have his coffee at 9. I'm going to pop in. I'm going to make my cup of joe. I'm going to sit back. How did Drew Smiley fleece the Braves? It's funny because he went out. Remember, he went out there on the West Coast with Gabe Kapler. He went out with Gabe Kapler a little bit. Let's see what his stats were last year. I'm not going to lie to you. Didn't watch too many Drew Smiley sessions. He had a 3.42 ERA. He barely pitched. He pitched 26 innings, 5 games started. So in 5 games, he had a 3.42 ERA. They must have saw something in the analytical world that gave him an opportunity. Mikey, this is where you're wrong. I'm not a Maxwell House guy. I'm out of the Maxwell. I can't do those big tubs of like that standard generic coffee. I like to reach out a bit. I like to try new things. There's this place called Mary Lou's in the Massachusetts area. When I played junior up in Boston, I used to love it there. Like I'll order boxes of coffee from there, and it's just those $8 bags that are like yay high, $9, $10 bags. Probably not the most bang for my buck, but I enjoy, like, I got it. Coffee matters to me. I can't go generic standard. I'm willing to put money in on coffee. And I know like a $7 bag's not going in, but my point is I'll splurge. I'll spend a little more. I'll go online. I'll do some companies that I never heard of, and I'll order a big box of maybe 7 different kinds of their coffee. I'll go out and definitely try all kinds of new ones and things like that. So I'm not just a traditional Maxwell blue tub guy. No, we gotta expand. We gotta try new flavors. We gotta try new things. We gotta be. I swear there's a piece of hair flying in my face after the whole Get Out scene. Alec Boehm, Silver Slugger. Yeah, you're right. We got a fake sports talk with Brodes account. TJ McConnell with 10 steals. I think did he have 11? That's insane, by the way. Insane. How does that even happen? And that reminds me, I actually have a tweet for TJ McConnell. Indiana Pacers box score. Let's go to this. Oh, because I thought it was 11, but maybe it was 10. I think it was, 11 steals, man. Even if it was 10. What was this game? Where was this? Here we go. Cleveland. They beat the Cleveland Cavs. TJ McConnell had, he did have 10. Okay, he had 10. That took me way too long to figure out. 9 in the first half. Well, that means he had a shitty second half, is what that means. He had a shitty second half. And that's a problem. No, that's upsetting. He should be benched. How do you not keep up that pace? That's what I need to know. How can the Flyers get Nolan Patrick going? They trade him. they trade him. That's what they do. They trade his ass. If I'm the Flyers, I'm trading Nolan Patrick for sure. Yeah, I know. Off the bench. I'm with you. He played 36 minutes, though, so he played starter minutes off the bench. So I would, too, if I'm playing that great. I ripped off Bryce Harper's look for wearing a bandana. You should see my bandana collection. I got 500 of these, and I had them way before Bryce Harper was in town. But, yeah, it's some swag in there for sure. I like the Bryce Harper swag. No doubt about it. Ooh, how about this? Jonathan says, I'm getting ready to hoop with the boys. Wearing my sports talk with Brodes long sleeve. First off, love balling in a long sleeve. I'm a big fan of balling in a long sleeve. And if I'm just putting up shots alone, getting in a good workout, the hoodie life. Love it. Sweat. Maybe I even tie it tight so like the hood shrivels up on my face a bit. I tie it, make it tight, get a good sweat. I love balling in a long sleeve. In a game, like a pickup game, I'm not rocking the hoodie. That's more of just, dribbling a little bit with the AirPods in, brick, at the layup, comes up short, look around, see if anyone saw, dribble through my leg, brick, right? Hoodie on, all that for sure. Love the long sleeve, though, man. Love the long sleeve. Thank you so much for all the support. Purchasing a shirt. You can all purchase a shirt at teespring.com/Brodes Clothes. Brodes Clothes. Thoughts on the Suns? Yeah, the Suns are playing good basketball. Fun, exciting basketball. They're a fun team. They really are. They're a fun, entertaining team. Bro, you putting up Embiid numbers? No. I like it. Ironically enough, because this man is what was just mentioned, I'm TJ McConnell. And I saw this hilarious tweet, and it's a pretty standard joke. But when someone tells you, like when someone asks, are you good at basketball or what do you play? And someone responds with, oh, I'm good at defense. That pretty much means you suck at basketball, right? Like, oh, I'm a good defender and a good rebounder. Oh, okay, so you suck at basketball. That's kind of like the funny joke. But yeah, I mean, I am your TJ McConnell. I like to dish out the rock. I like to be a pest. I literally, I'm not even kidding. I say this and I don't joke around about it, but I say it a lot. I take charges. I take physical beatdowns in the post, and I'm making you earn it. I am making you earn it. You will hate to play against me. I remember I was playing pickle with randoms. I didn't even know when I went to college in Maryland. I took a mean elbow to the face. I fell on the ground. I'm grabbing the ball. I'm kicking it to a fast break. I look up. My tooth is chipped. I'm bleeding. My nose is running. It's like, I dap up my teammate. Here I am on the back. And I clamp down again. I'm slapping the floor. I'm clamped down. The guys were looking around like, who is this idiot? Who's this kid with the bandana on, with the LeBron Soldier H, with the high white socks, who's taking a damn charge here? Who is this kid? It's like I'm a walking mystery. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. No, I'm not like Kyle Lowry because I'm not just taking big threes either. Like I'm not a confident offensive game guy. I'm more of a let me grab the rebound and put back up a soft little bunny. Yes, Nat, I have seen the Game of Zone stuff. I'm not like a diehard fan of it or anything. I know what you're referencing, but I don't watch it to that degree. Logan Wright, $3 donation. Have you ever tried the Black Rifle coffee? I feel like I have. I'm just looking at the logo to make sure, to see if I recognize it, if I see it. Yeah, the big black bag, right? Yeah, I have. I definitely have. Black Rifle coffee. Yes, I have. Yep, the big black bag of it. Yes. I'm just looking at pictures. Where are we here? Bro, do you think the 76ers should have tried to trade for CP3? No. No, I do not. Because that's a Ben Simmons type trade, and that's not a reality of the situation. You know how many times I heard, trade Ben Simmons for Chris Paul? Ben Simmons for Chris Paul. No. Why would I do that? One guy's 74, the other guy's 24. It's crazy. All right, with that being said, everybody, it is 10 o'clock, so we have done the 1 hour of Coffee with Brodes. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was super fun this morning. We got one more. It is Thursday, right? We got one more day this week of Coffee with Brodes, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Be there. Go to my Twitter, @Brodes81. @Brodes81. Enter the Eagles giveaway. Retweet my pinned tweet. Follow me for news and updates. But to be entered to win, all you got to do is follow me and retweet the pinned tweet. You get a chance to win Eagle socks. Every Wednesday, there's a new giveaway. Go check it out, @Brodes81. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. You're fantastic. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.